Hey, everybody, welcome on in. It's time for Clay Share Live at 5. I'm Jessica Putnam-Phillips, and tonight we have a special guest. We have Drew Seymour joining us. He is going to be sharing some of his favorite techniques for using Speedball Underglazes. That's what I have right here is my Underglaze color wheel. It's actually my Underglaze test plate, and yeah, you know I have a class on Clay Share on making the plate as well as how to make a plate a test plate. So it's a two-parter, so you can go check it out if you just like the way this plate looks, which looks kind of awesome. You can make this shape, but you can also learn how to make your own test plates. So you all know Speedball from, I hope you know Speedball from me over the years. Speedball has been one of my own sponsors since before I started Clay Share. And the reason I love to use Speedball is because of the quality of the underglaze and the great price. Now, a few years ago, Speedball changed their formula a little bit and they had a few little issues, but you all will be more than happy to know that they earlier this year switched to a brand new formula, fixed all those issues, and now the underglazes are back and they are better than ever. Now, Drew has all new inventory. So any underglazes you get from Drew, you don't have to worry about them being any of the old formula. I know that was a question folks were asking of me earlier this week, but no, they're going to be great. And I have lots of examples of ways you can use underglazes. If you go look up any of my surface decoration classes, at least 10, maybe 15 are going to use underglazes. So if you want to do sgraffito, I use Speedball underglazes. Give you a little quick, we'll go over here to camera 2 and I give you a close-up. So this is just Speedball Royal Blue underglaze that I applied to the entire surface 2 coats and then carved the design. So fun and easy to do. Kind of similarly, slab built plate, applied underglaze, wiped back so that we can see this awesome texture and then glazed on top. And I think Drew's gonna do something like this. And I got a couple different things doing that using lace and textures. Really cool thing to share with you all. Speedball's underglazes work perfectly with underglaze decals. So this is a Sambow underglaze decal. If you have this, if you use the Speedball Pine, their pine green matches this decal perfectly. So some fun things. Now I got more to share, but I want Drew to share what he's going to share and we'll come back at the end. I've got some stenciling and some other things that I've done with the Speedball underglazes over the years that I want to share. But let's head on over to Syracuse, New York and see how Drew is doing. I do want to remind everybody there's 30% off Speedball underglazes if you purchase them through Clayscapes Pottery and you use the code SB30. It's a capital S, capital B, 30. And we're also giving away a 6-pack of underglazes tonight. So it's pretty exciting things happening here. But let's head on over to Drew and see how he is doing. Hey, Drew, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jess. How's it going? Welcome to the warehouse. I'm in the warehouse today. We got a class going on in the studio, so, I didn't want to bother them in there. Yeah, today we're working on some Speedball underglazes. I have a couple of pots that I've been meaning to do some experiments on, and I want to try some new stuff. I've got these Speedball underglazes that we've got back in stock, that we are, representing them and selling. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share with everybody. We're going to be glazing my, what's it called? My Secret Santa gift. I'm going to be glazing my Secret Santa gift today. So
your Secret Santa gift. Wait, so the person watching could be.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say their name, but there's, I got their favorite colors.
Getting this.
I got their favorite colors here, and so we're gonna do some underglaze. I'm basically gonna do, I have my carved pots that have like a checkered pattern, and so I'm gonna be doing like an oscillating blue and purple, and then I want to wipe them away without them contaminating each other. So it's going to be tedious, but it's also going to look really cool, I think. And then the idea is to put the wildflower celadons over them, and so the blue and the purple, poppy and aster, and then with cream. So that's the goal. And so I can kind of show you what I've got set up here. I've got my I've got my colors picked here. I'm going to be using the royal blue and the purple. And then I've got a bucket of clean water. I've got these little guys here. So I've got little cups of water. This is toasted coconut vanilla water. I don't know, just a 20. And then I've got these sponges. So we're going to try different sponges for wiping away the underglazes, because the texture on the pots that I have is pretty coarse. And so I just kind of experiment with a couple different sponges to see which ones take it better. And yeah, that's the plan for today. Got a couple of brushes here that I'm going to use. This is a Sim 1/2-inch look brushy guy. And this is like a little bamboo brush.
Yeah, that's assuming like a calligraphy brush, and those are really great because they're everywhere and they're really expensive.
Yeah. And so the reason I want to use those smaller brushes is because the texture on the pots that I'm going to be doing, and I can do a little close up on that. But this is the texture, and so I'm going to be doing, blue, and then purple, and then blue, and then purple, and then blue, and then purple, and then it'll be poppy and aster, and poppy and aster, and poppy and aster. And so we're gonna apply the underglaze, and then if I need to, I'm gonna wipe away so that I can have the highlights be the raised spots, and those celadons will kind of pop on those highlights. It's the plan. And then I'll have it, we're gonna be doing another live stream next week, so I will, in the meantime, fire this pot so that we'll be able to show it off when we're done. And then, of course, you can ask questions, but I'm gonna do the thing. So hold on one second.
Is it me? Am I the Secret Santa? Is it mine? Is that my cup?
No, it's not.
No.
And I've got all the, my super professional lighting. All right. So I don't know if that's like close enough for you to see.
I think we can pull it in a little. Kev can probably zoom in a bit. He can take care of that for you.
Okay. So I'm going to start with blue, and I'm going to do it. And so I've got my underglaze, and I've also got a separate water here, and this is going to be the blue only water. So I'm only going to clean my brush with blue in this little bucket here. That way it's like watered down. Yeah, I don't do this for a living, guys, so bear with me. Okay, and then we're gonna try this. So basically I got my brush wet first there, and then I loaded it up with that blue, and I'm gonna hit it. Ooh, I'm nervous. I'm just gonna hit it. Yeah. Ooh, real smooth. And I'm not really gonna do I want to wipe this away. So I'm not really gonna be doing 2 or 3 coats of this, because I'm really looking for a subtle accent to the Himalayan blue poppy that I'm going to be putting over this. And so the idea is that it'll kind of give you a dark to light tone. And they dry right there real quick. So if I wanted to, I could put another coat on there, but I'm not looking for maximum vibrancy. And this just goes on real smooth.
And the new formula is so easy to work with.
It's really smooth.
No, it's better than it was before, I think.
For sure. And so I'm just being really careful because, again, if I want to wipe, this away, I don't want to get any blue in the spots that it's white. So I'm just going to be careful. And this is not a super, I don't know. It's, this is what we're doing.
Well, it's a little loose of a technique, right? It's not supposed to be a technique you do where you need to stop on a razor's edge. It's supposed to have a little overlap.
There's different reasons you would use underglaze, right? For some people, they're doing, massively detailed illustrations. looking for that like maximum vibrancy and pop, where they, have to, do multiple layers. And there's a lot of, color involved there. For this, again, the goal for this is a little bit different, right? I'm mostly looking for it as like a subtle accent. And so this blue is like, even this amount of blue is jarring for like what I'm looking for. So like when we wipe these away, it will make sense.
And the glaze you're going to put on it too will tone it down a little.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So, and we're gonna go, oh, wow. And so this brush is like the perfect, so I use diamond core tools for carving tools for the carvings here. And my measurements basically leave me with like four or five strokes per square. And so this little 1/2-inch sim brush, I'm cleaning it in the water here. This little 1/2-inch sim brush is kind of like the perfect width for this particular texture pattern, which I'm, still practicing, and getting it down. And so it works kind of well.
So we had a couple of questions come in. Yeah. So one person was asking, they use the black Speedball Underglaze and they had a little issue with it sticking to the shelf. Have you heard if they've changed ingredients? Because I am still using the black. That's the original formula, like not the original, the old formula that was chunky. Yeah. So I haven't tried the new one. So I haven't had any issues with any of them ever sticking to shelves, any of the Speedball. Well, it depends, I guess, temperature maybe?
I haven't seen that in my studio. A lot of times I find that depending on the studio you go to, I have found that there are some community studios out there that have some pretty crazy formulas for their kiln wash. And so if you have like the wrong amount of alumina hydrate in your kiln wash, or if you are putting, I have people that put like silica in kiln wash. They've done weird stuff. And so number one, I would double check the kiln wash, we in the studio here use the Laguna kiln wash, and I haven't had any problems with really any brand of underglaze sticking to the shelf. It's mostly the issues that I mostly see are like pots running all over the shelf, because it's, because we got people that they've never done pottery before in their life, and they get to come here and learn, and their pots run all over the shelf, and we have to educate them. So this is my, this is my experiment piece. I'm not actually going to use this as my final piece because the lip here, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a,
I see the little,
like a ding. So this is the sacrifice pot, right? We're going to, we're able to use this and apply bravely and with confidence, because we know this one's a just for me. It's never going to see the light of day. No one's getting it. I think I'm in frame still. I'm not really.
That's a good glaze test option. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So cleaning the brush off every once in a while. I don't want it to get like overloaded with like, I don't want like any underglaze to dry and get gunky on the brush. And I'm also like, one brushful is doing a whole line here. It's pretty quick. We might be able to do 2 pots today if I can pick it up, because we're not going to do the glaze part today. We're just going to do the underglaze part today. But we'll see maybe I'll do it all and wipe it all down together.
So often when I do the staining like you're doing, I would do the whole piece and then wipe it all at this, like do all the color and then wipe it. And if you're careful with your directionality or you don't mind a little bit of overlap, it works great. If you don't want any overlap, then you might want to do one color at a time. But it just depends. And I think with what
this is the, so again, this is the sacrifice. This is the experiment piece. So realistically, what I should do is the least amount of effort first to see if that's going to work. And the least amount of effort is going to be to underglaze the whole piece and wipe the whole piece at once. And that will tell me whether or not I'm going to do that again when I bring out the one that's not damaged. Ta-da, we're done. Okay, we're going to switch to purple.
Okay. So while you do that, I'm going to show a piece. We're going to go here that I did where I stained and then wiped back, but I did all the colors at once. So I did turquoise, aqua, royal blue, turquoise, aqua, royal blue, turquoise, aqua, royal blue, and stripes. So this looked like just solid stripes of color. Then I wiped it all back. And I didn't wipe this way, crossing the colors into each other. I wiped down, or maybe, you hold it that way and wipe down. But by doing that, it keeps the colors in the area that they started in, and they really don't bleed over once you've applied color as you're wiping back. They don't really get into each other because the color's already saturated the clay. It's already in there. So this was like what Drew's going to do. I believe he's going to fill up that whole piece with color and then wipe it all back at once. You absolutely can do that because you can see I don't have any bleed over color issues with this at all. So just a little example.
Bam. All right. We've made the switch.
All right. Okay. Purple time.
So now I've got the purple. This is a fresh cup of water.
That's the royal purple?
This is just purple.
Just the purple. Okay. Yep. I know they have purple, they have royal purple, they have amethyst, they have a few.
Yes, I got like a dozen as a sample set to, test these out before bringing the line, like the whole line in. And so, I picked from those rather than taking a one off the shelf because that's for you guys. All right. So this way I'm going to see here. So this texture, the top line when I do these is kind of like my borderline. And I like to make sure that the color that I'm using on this top little triangle here fills that top line. Because then what happens is when I put cream on the inside, it's going to hit that little line and give me a little bleed of cream at the top. So we're going to brush this one with purple. But we're going to make sure that that line also gets full of that purple. And we'll probably go all the way around. And so I'm really just dabbing that in there. Dab. Let's see here.
Yeah, and you're doing it in a way where it's not running. Like you've got just enough underglaze on your brush.
Yes. And so you can see the brush is like, it's not like overloaded. Like if this was a glaze, you would want this to be like real thick and juicy with glaze because we want to get a nice big pull and be able to like really brush it. With this, again, I'm mostly kind of just dabbing it in there, making sure it fills. I don't want it to, I'm not actually looking for it to move a whole ton because I'm trying to be as accurate as I can with its placement. I don't know if this is working. I feel like I'm in front of everything here. So this is purple. Nice and quick too. Like these are great. Bam, bam. A little overlap. Whatever. It's fine. Wabi sabi. And then here. Now what I didn't do, naughty me, is usually I wax the bottom of these ahead of time. And I did not wax the bottom of this one. So I'm going to try and be careful and not get that over there. We're going to put this over here so I don't keep putting it in front of there.
So a lot of times I will, so a lot of times if it's a hand built mug, I'll have texture on the bottom of my cups and I will go ahead and stain them and then wax them after. But, if you want to keep your bottoms pristine, then waxing before is a really good idea. So you don't get smudges because those colors, those pigments are pretty intense. They will
and when you're wiping it away, there's a distinct possibility that you're not going to get all of it. That some of it's going to get in there, no matter how well burnished your pot is. Like there are vacancies in that's porous, and so if I'm looking to keep it as white as possible, I should have waxed it before. And usually that's part of my process is like, I'll have a whole day where I'll do nothing but wax the bottoms. And then they sit overnight so that the wax has time to get hard. And, then I'll come in and glaze or underglaze the next day. This is my underglaze debut. Here we go, purple.
So we had a question. How does someone know if the underglaze they already have from Speedball is the old or the new?
Well, it should have like serial number or a lot number.
You can reach out to Speedball. Yeah?
Yes, you can reach out to Speedball.
You got a drip. It's okay.
It's okay. It's just, ruined. That's why we experiment.
So I just want to say that Clayscapes is only selling the new formula. If you're using your underglaze and you're not having any problems at all, then you're good.
Yeah, it's no problem. Don't worry about it.
It's only if you're having any problems with your underglaze, it might be an old batch. So if you have an old jar that you're having trouble with, you can reach out to Speedball about it. I do have a fix with Darvan 7 and an immersion blender and just a tablespoon of water, which it's really simple. We have done little tutorials before. I know Maria did Maria Sampson did a little tutorial. Del Good did a tutorial with us on that. I will do a little video too. So we have a standalone of just the how to, and this is for any underglaze that might be having any problems. You can do this to it. But basically, I would reach out to Speedball if you have questions about it. They've been really great since they rolled out the new.
Yeah, they're super cool about it.
Yeah. So you can just go to Speedball's website and speedballart.com and you can reach out to their customer service. They're great.
Ping, 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 ping. I gotta have different sound effects. Yeah, come up with new sound effects.
So do you sell sets? You're selling them individually, or are you selling them? So
we're selling them individually. Right now I'm stocking them in pints. And then it's one of those things that we brought them in here at the beginning of the fall. So we've really only had them for a few short weeks here back in stock. So it's one of those things that we'll have to. It's hard. I can't just like bring everything all in all at once, and so I'd have to build up. There needs to be demand, and I need to be able to sell them. And so maybe once these gain some traction, I could bring in the 2 ounces or something. But for now, we're just selling them in the pints. Yeah.
The pints are really the best way to get them.
I mean, it's the best value for sure.
It is the best value, and you can do large areas, and it lasts for a long time. So it's great.
And especially I'd also thought, and depending on if we have time, I can also do. I was also thinking about watering it down and doing like a really light wash. And so, when you're doing stuff like that, being able to have like an affordable, not out of this world priced, colorant, heavy colorant underglaze, this is affordable. You can do that, right? You can feel comfortable saying I'm going to do this technique that is going to water this underglaze down. And it's only $20 a pint. It's not $50 a pint.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about Speedball. I was using Amico, and Amico colors are great. I love them, but I was using their red and their purple, and it's very, very expensive.
They're great. Yes. They're great. Excellent. There's excellent product. But again, if you're looking to do, again, especially if you have a ton of ton of surface that you need to cover. If you're planning on doing a wash, you know, if you're looking to, I mean, you know, just get into it and have, you know, you want to get a good number of colors without having to break the bank. Like these guys are gonna serve you well, and these colors are gonna pop, especially under the wildflowers. So the idea is I'm gonna take, you know, that aster and poppy and really make them pop. It's the plan. It could fail. You know, who knows? Although I have 3 other cups that are exactly the same texture, so I could make an imposter pot. I'd have to give it a ding in the same spot, though. I don't want to do
no.
that.
And another thing I wanted to remind folks, you know, you might have underglaze that froze, which you can reclaim, you can bring back with again, a couple drops of Darvan 7 and immersion blender, and you're back in business. It doesn't matter what brand underglaze. You can fix them all. Save them all. Save all the underglazes. We need like a bumper sticker. Save the underglaze. And we're talking about value. If you're doing large areas of solid color for sgraffito like I do, I mean, I will cover a whole 14-inch platter with 2 coats of color. That can use a lot of underglaze,
yeah,
you know, to get a nice base for me to do the carving on. And it's much nicer when you know it's $20 versus $50 out of my pocket, right?
Well, and the color, I mean, so far as I've seen, like the colors are great. Like they are very vibrant. It's not, you know, it's not been an issue. I do know that they, I think that a couple of them have the crystal clear may not be the best clear for these.
I mean, you want a zinc-free clear, definitely.
Yeah, and crystal is a zinc-free clear. There's just a little, so it's going to be best to use like the Speedball clear or the like the Amico clear. That'll work really well.
Or you can make your own clear if you use my recipe 2167. That's my BC Val Cushing's 2167 recipe. So you guys can go to Clayshare Resources and just print it out. Make your own glaze.
Do it. It's not hard.
Drew, it's like if you can bake a cake, not like from scratch and everything, but from a mix.
Like a Betty Crocker.
Like if you can use a box cake mix, you can make glaze. And I have classes on them. Drew's done a practical glaze class with us. You did a workshop with us. Practical glaze chemistry back like 6 years ago?
Years ago, yeah. I mean,
it's been a minute. But
I may have learned a few things or two since then, but it's
you should
still
do a
relevant.
part 2. You should do an advanced glaze chemistry.
Ooh, like a redo.
I think people who did I think people who took it might want get a little formulating their own glaze, maybe. I don't know. Something to talk about. So folks want to know, if you don't have a color in stock that's available, can they order it from you and get the discount and you will get it for
absolutely.
them?
So
good. Yeah, that's awesome.
So basically I actually took inventory. Took inventory off the website for that reason. So basically any underglazes that you order for this promo, like if I don't have them in stock, I'll have them next week. You know, that's the other thing about Speedball is like I've put in an order with them and it's here. Like it's really fast. They're really good at order fulfillment, at least in the, you know, for the orders that I've placed recently with them. Like, you know, I placed an order and had it in the same week. You know, and it was like 12 boxes of underglaze. So 24 boxes of underglaze. So it's pretty quick. So, you know, there won't be like this big wait time. You know, if it's one I don't have, you know, it'll be a week at most. One more.
I love that. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Somebody had asked something and I was going to answer it. I'll go find the question. I'm sorry, I'm moderating 4 different websites for the stream right now.
Come on, Jess,
so,
what are you doing?
yeah, I know, right? Okay, yes, Mako zinc-free clear will work as well. And the Speedball that Drew had mentioned, their clear is zinc-free.
Yes,
so,
and I think we are also stocking their Cone 6 zinc-free clear. So like if you wanted to buy
it's a great, easy
Speedball
brush
clear with
glaze.
it, we've got it. All right, now for the experiment part. Now we're gonna wipe it away. And I'm a little nervous. I think we're gonna start with this big brush. I'm gonna bring the big bucket of water. I'm gonna put it over here so I'm not reaching across the screen because I did that all beginning of the stream. Okay, I'm just, we're just gonna wipe it now. It's just gonna wipe it. Oh yeah.
All at once. So what I have found happens is when you apply the underglaze, because it's so wet and the clay is so porous and thirsty, that the underglaze is sucked right into the clay right then and there at that spot.
Yep.
And if you accidentally get some on top of it, it cannot go into the clay because the clay already has that first color in it.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna hit it.
I don't think you'll have any problems with the.
No, I'm gonna hit it here. It's actually working really well. I'm gonna hit these guys. I'll give you guys a close up in a second here. Come on. Okay. So I got those purples kind of wiped away, right? And then I'm going to try the blues now, but I'm going to go in a different direction because the sponge will get destroyed otherwise. What we want. So I'm going to have to press. It seems like I have to press harder with the blue because that colorant is in the clay mold. There. Ooh. Yeah.
The other thing with wiping back, you get sort of a vintage effect. Like this technique is really nice because it stains the clay, and then when you wipe it back, it looks like it's been aged.
Right. That's kind of also a coolio thing. I don't know if anyone can see me. Like I'm doing this. So I'm basically going with the blue texture to get that wiped back, and it's pretty. I gotta like scrub. I'm really having to scrub it to get it wiped back, like the amount that I want, and a little bit in there. Oh, there's basically squeezed water straight onto it. And so that's so hopefully basically looking to make the whole piece look like this. So I'm going to wipe the rest of it. And that's my plan. So it's doing what I want. And then the idea is that, in these areas where the white clay is coming through. Oh, I suppose I didn't tell you guys what clay body this was. In the areas where this white clay is showing through, that's where the Celadon is going to shine more. And so we have these recessed areas with dark underglaze in them, and then we'll have those highlight areas with the Celadons. This is I'm using the Tucker bright white porcelain. It's like a domestic, so it's kind of like B-Mix. It's super white, but not porcelain because porcelain, there's issues, it's just a little finicky and
porcelain can pucker and stick to shelves.
It can, and also, I'm looking for porcelain ain't cheap. This ain't 10 years ago.
Well, you know what? When I buy porcelain and B-Mix from Laguna, I pay the same. Yeah. My supplier, they charge me the same for both, even though B-Mix used to be cheaper. Not anymore. But so I haven't tried the bright white yet. I know I got a box of it from you, but
it's nice.
I'm interested. You like it? Is it brighter than B-Mix?
Yes. The thing about B-Mix.
Smooth stone?
Yeah, it's brighter than the smooth stone as well. So it's more white than both of those clay bodies. It's not as plastic as porcelain. So it is very smooth, like smooth stone, but it's not elastic like B-mix or porcelain, you know. It's more of a stoneware in that sense. Uh, so I guess the whole idea is we were going to try and see because can we do it like this? I mean,
I think you can. I mean, you might have might smear a little, but
yeah, I still got to work for it. It seems the to go with like with the grain. It's not, you know, if I'm going over the texture this way, it's not really getting into the groove like I want. I don't know how that looks. Does that look good? It looks blue and purple. It looks blue and purple. It's definitely something. Boop, boop, boop. So much for keeping my foot clean. That's okay. It's a sacrifice piece. I bet it's going to come out good, though. This will be.
I bet it's gonna look great. I don't think it'll be sacrifice. I think once you glaze it, I think the rim with the when you get the celadon on it, and then you get the cream on top of it. That little.
Oh, you think that little nubbin will go away?
Yeah. I mean, if
It's
there's any
possible.
sharpness, lightly sand it. You know, you don't need to tell you. You know this, but you know.
Yeah, I'll probably before I put cream on this, I will probably hit that and like bevel it,
Sand it
make
a
sure
tiny
it's
bit,
smooth.
and
But
yeah.
it's not. I mean, it's not like I don't really sell my pots all that much, so it's not like I super care. Um, it's just interesting. I like to do it and experiment with, try different techniques, and I might move to bowls. We'll see. But this will be good. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're doing it. We're doing it. I know it's not the most entertaining, but
I don't know. I mean, we're potters. We like to watch people, you know, play in
struggle.
dirt. So yeah, no, stop it.
No, I'm kidding.
No, and you know, it's because this is good for anybody who's never tried it, so they can see how it does take a bit of time, and that it's something you have to plan for. If you've got 10 minutes in your studio, this might not be the way to glaze your
Not be the
pot.
technique for you to do,
Right,
right? And
right.
so,
So it's something to think about. But I also think this is a great thing to do if you really like getting lost in pottery and lost in making. Like you can start doing this and everything else falls away.
yeah,
And all your, yeah, and it's so meditative and so calming. Like I think all of us potters have really great blood pressure because of what we do.
I really started carving because it's that, you know, it's it's a way for me to, you know, what's the word? You know, I'm looking to say like, okay, well,
Decompress.
I want to take my work to the next level, right? Like, what can I do to my work? You know, and so I said, okay, well, I'm going to make my pots, and there'll be blanks, and then we're going to carve. And I had found that the process of carving is so meditative. It's so easy to just get in the zone and not and get out of my head, you know, which is, oh, I splashed you. Oh no. And so it's been helpful for me, you know, as much as I do this every day for like my whole life. Realistically, I don't work on my own stuff. You know, my day is filled with pottery related things, and I get to live the dream, as it were, as you know, with this company. But the like this side of things is a little more few and far between. So it's fun when I get to do this and experiment and learn. And so this is good.
And you find the carving is very meditative, right? And so
I do, yeah. And especially, you know, so I also particularly like I'm a big graph paper nerd, right? Like I like geometric designs and patterns, the repetitive nature of the carving. I kind of call it like mowing the lawn. I have this whole piece, and then I want, 100% of the surface from here to here is going to be carved away. And it's like a little lawnmower. It just goes and goes. And so I'm like mowing the lawn and chopping it away and getting lost in music or podcast or whatever is good for the soul. I like it.
Absolutely.
Holy cow, we still got a ways to go. All right, come on. Jeepers. It's that texture. I don't know. It's very coarse.
Yeah. And you see why you want a sponge that can get down in, and also when you are not invested in. Don't use your expensive sponges for this.
Well, right. And
use
also,
your cheap ones.
and like you said, it's not, I've made the decision to invest this amount of time into this piece, because in addition to this, after I get this all done and I wipe it as clean as I possibly can on the foot, I'm then going to have to alternate glaze. So Wild Aster is going to go here and Blue Poppy is going to go here. And so it's still, I have another session of this application in front of me for the final piece, which I will have next week. It'll be out. I'll do it.
So exciting. Yeah.
Getting ready for, behind the scenes time, here. Fall is our really big, busy season. We wind up doing like a lot of our, like our empty bowls. Our local Independent Potters Association does their Cups for a Cause. So a lot of the charities are in fall for us. And so, October, November, December is when I get to do glaze experiments and new glazes and fixing old glazes and, working on this kind of stuff a little bit. So we're pretty busy getting ready for Clay Share.
Yeah. Well, you've got a big thing come up with Raku Day. That's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So that's what, November 20. What's the date of that?
I think it's the 23rd.
I think it's the 23rd as well, but it's the Saturday before. Yeah. And so anybody can come and buy a pot and do a Raku firing. Well, they will fire it. It'll be fired for them for safety reasons.
I'll fire it.
Drew will fire it, but you pick your pot and you glaze it, and then it gets fired and you get it back the same day. So it's a really fun thing. You can check out Clayscapes and see their facilities. You do classes in person there. So anybody in the Syracuse area can come.
I think we're doing like a little trunk sale, so some of the students who don't do pottery shows, they're not like potters. Because we have some students that have, they got their hustle and they do, the white tent festival. They do the white tent festivals and all that. This is an opportunity for like our newbie potters, people that have been doing it for a while that don't necessarily sell yet, to kind of pop their car trunk open and sell for the first time, kind of get that like first experience of like what sales is like. So that's kind of a new thing we're doing.
I love that.
We did that last year. Get out of there.
So you can get in, and so you don't really worry about how evenly you wipe it back. Drew's like, done. That's it. I mean, honestly, I think that if you go multi-directional, you can do it fast. I think it depends what you want.
Yeah.
Just change your direction.
Not happy about it, but
no, that's why you use sponges you don't care about. And a great tip, which many people have chimed in, is the magic eraser. Is a great thing to go back with after you're done wiping back, to clean up the top and bottom edges where you don't want underglaze. So like if you got any on the bottom that you don't want there, you just take your magic eraser, a sponge or a Melamie sponge. You can buy them on Amazon by how many do I buy at a time, Kevin? 50, 100, 3,000? It seems like. I get like a case of them every couple of months, and they are so good for studio sponges. Like they're very when you buy them at the bulk, they're very affordable and they're very handy. So, and you cut them up to smaller sizes. So you can pick those up. I think I get mine on Amazon, but it cleans up all those little areas nicely and get your clay all shiny again.
I got this baby sponge here now.
Drew, I'll send you some Melanie sponges. I'll send you some magic racers.
I mean, I have some. I'm just in the kitchen, and I'm way down in the studio. So
I'm just trying to get rid of some.
Hey, man, you want some sponges? I can hook you up.
I'm selling some sponges on the side here. Oh, microfiber dish rags too. Yeah. Yes, microfiber is nice. It grabs stuff.
Well, let's put some. We'll be fine. All right, so there's that. And then You'll be
glazing
celadonning it up
next week.
It'll be done next week, and so I'll.
You'll have another.
I don't know if because the application of the celadons is pretty much going to be what I just did, except for wiping it away, right? Like I'm going to apply the purple over the purple and the blue over the blue. So nobody wants to watch that again 2 weeks in a row. So I'll probably have something else to like talk about and highlight and do next time. And we'll just have this finished products to be like, oh yeah. And this is what it came out as. So I'll have it like completed then.
It's going to look great.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so if anybody has any questions about the technique that Drew just did, or Speedball Underglazes, this is a Q&A
in
session.
General.
We're here to do this. I've got some more show and tell if y'all want to see more things, because I've, like I said, been using Speedball Underglazes for a very, very long time. I've used them basically every way you can use an underglaze. I've done it. And, so let me show this. This is a plate that I did I designed this pattern. I used my Cricut to cut out a stencil that I then laid on leather hard clay, rolled it into the clay just a little bit, and then I applied Speedball Underglaze, and then I peeled the stencil off. You could also do a vinyl stencil and do it on bisqueware, but you can see I kind of have some favorite colors: aqua, turquoise, royal blue, sea blue. Those are some of my faves, but it created this really great design where I had the stencil, and I have a class on using stencils too. So if you want to know how to do stencils, I got you covered for that. Here's the lace one that I was talking about, but I don't think I showed in detail. So the fun thing about this is kind of like what you're going to do, Drew, is the clay itself is B-mix. So it's a light colored clay. I used all of the underglazes, but instead of, I put all the colors on, I used the sea blue, I used turquoise, I used royal blue and aqua, and I put them on in splotches to fill in the lace there. I think you can see it there. Then I wiped it all back. Yeah. And you can actually see the lace. You can really see how well that brings out the lace. But the glaze I used is Amico's Fog Celadon. And this was 2 coats of the Fog Celadon. And the great thing about it is, 1, the Celadon zinc free, and 2, it kind of toned the background. If I had just done clear, the contrast would have been more like this. You see the contrast difference. You would have seen that light clay really popping. This way, it's a little more subtle. You still see the color, but it is not so contrasty, which I do love. You guys want to see some mugs? I got some mugs to show while Drew's cleaning.
Mugs, yeah. I could do another. I mean, I could start another one. We
have got about 10 minutes. So if you want to start another, I'll quickly show.
Pick me some colors. I got orange and I got green and pink and.
Yeah, there's black Speedball Underglaze applied and white back to the bottom. Here it is on the side with Wild Aster Celadon, 1 coat. This was brushed on, but you could dip it. And then Clayscapes Cream, kind of like what Drew is going to do. So that's a spider web mug that I just did. You're going to do orange? Are you going to do orange? So
yeah, I'm going to do orange.
Using Speedball's orange underglaze, applied and wiped back. This is porcelain. Laguna 16 porcelain. So that's why it's so bright white on the bottom. The daisy texture is my daisy rolling pin, but I also use this cute chicken stamp from De La Design Gifts. So I put the orange on when this was bisque fired in the bisque stage, like Drew is doing now, wiped it back, and then I used my buttercup Celadon, one coat to cover it, and then cream on the rim. So it's a cute little bud vase that we did a demo on a couple years ago. So yeah, let's go back to Drew since he's going to put some more stuff on clay.
I'm gonna color this one orange.
You color it orange. Orange is good. So the Speedball orange works good with the Tiger Lily and with the buttercup Celadons.
I was also thinking about putting like if I do the orange and then do like the buttercup, or like looking for that, like I think I want to do orange vertical for SU for Clemson.
Oh yeah, SU for Clemson. I don't think that's kind.
Orange for Clemson, right? Like I said, orange for SU because I'm here. Orange. I know Kevin's a big Clemson fan, so
yeah, he's a big Clemson fan. It's true. Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. Again, I'm just gonna wipe this away. So I'm looking for more of like an orange. Ooh, like orange. I'm hoping it'll give it like a rustic kind of feel. So I'll have 2 cups to show off next week. We'll do orange and I should do black because that'll be good. But I don't know what contrasts good with orange besides blue. I don't necessarily know if I want to do orange and blue.
Yeah, the orange and blue can be good, but it can be really hard.
It feels so because they're contrasting colors, and orange isn't like a
color wheel. Yeah,
orange isn't like a super popular like color isn't like super trendy, and so I find that like anytime I see anything that's orange and blue, all I can think of is like sports team, right? Like it's a sports team color, right? Like it's not, I don't know, but maybe that's just my like
no, I agree.
my trauma from living in an orange and blue city.
No, you're right. It is. I mean, it depends on the blue. If you use a soft light blue, like sky blue, then you've got a clay share color, almost like my chunga. But you can, if you're gonna do, so you could do the orange, and you could use a contrasting like the red, or you could go with, have you tried their the caramel? It is so good. Speedball came out with a bunch of new colors this year, I think.
Yes.
When they released the new formula
too. So
the caramel and the burnt orange are very yummy. I like those a lot. I did demos. I don't know if I have that plate. I'm just looking while you're doing that. I did a honeycomb texture with the caramel. It is my favorite combination. You use the caramel and you wipe it back. And then I used my buttercup yellow on top of it.
Oh,
and it gave me the best bee/honeycomb texture I've ever gotten. Oh, I just found it. Hold on, let me pull it out. I keep some things because it's warm, it's like melted honey. It's like, well, honey kind of is a bit melty on its own, but here, this is Speedball caramel applied and wiped back, and then buttercup Celadon, one coat brushed on because it's a dip and pour. But it's yummy, it's warm, it's like, it just looks like melted honey. I used to do black with the yellow, and I found that was too harsh. I was doing brown, and the brown's a little too dark, but the caramel is perfect. And then while we're here, let me just show, I did a whole bunch of promo when the new colors came out. So go back and watch. That was in July, but I did a test plate with just the new colors, and here is the burnt orange. So if you're looking for a really nice burnt orange, you got that there. Here is the chocolate. It's a good brown. I know browns sometimes can be difficult. There's the caramel. They have got this really pretty sunflower. I believe that's that color. the spring yellow, which is a bit of a green yellow. Then they have this honeydew, which is a very, very light blue. The robin's egg, which is really, really pretty. It's truly like a robin's egg. The emerald, which is like a deep emerald, perfect for the holidays, actually. I think this would be a good green if you're looking for something to do. Let me try to get the light on it. I know it's such a dark, like spruce almost green. And then the cool gray, the charcoal, the lilac, and the bubblegum. So, but you can go check out all the demos. And you know what? You can go to Speedball Ceramic, their Instagram, and you can see a bunch of other things that they've got with their ceramics, because Speedball does printmaking. So if you go to Speedball Arts Instagram, you're going to get their printmaking stuff. If you go to Speedball Ceramic, Speedball _ ceramic, you're going to get their clay. All right, back to Drew. What did you do? What did you decide to do, Drew?
So I did a couple of them are here with orange, and then I'm going to do the verticals in red here.
Yeah.
And give
Speedball's red is nice. I actually happen to have on my test plate an example of Speedball's red if you would like to see. So let me show you.
I'm not prepared. I wasn't. I used my clean water too soon. These I'll say that the Speedball
okay.
The red and orange are a little thicker, but that makes me think that I'm going to get like way better application of one coat. So it's going to be nice. Yeah,
I often just do one coat when I'm staining, like you're doing now.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kev will come back and I'm going to show you the red versus the carmine, because I really want to show these two. So the red is a true red. That's the red right here. And the carmine right here has more blue. So it's a cooler red and it's deeper. It's much deeper. And then they have their flame red. I don't know if they have all the same colors anymore. I know they did discontinue a couple colors. This one was back in, when did I make this one? 2020. When did they do their first change of the colors? Maybe 2020, maybe 2019.
I'm really bad with that kind of stuff.
It was only like 6 years ago. I don't remember. Anyhow, I love the carmine. It's a deep, deep, deep with that blue. Like if you're looking for the ultimate red, I think the carmine and the emerald. Where's my little plate with my emerald? Those would be my ultimate
picks.
Classical Christmas red and green, like dark forest green and a bright red, carmine and emerald. Those would be the way to go. If you're looking for that for the holidays. Now I did do here a little plate, carmine. This green here is pine green. And then the yellow is Speedball, just straight. It's actually their saffron yellow, which is a little more of a golden yellow. And these were my blobby flowers sgraffito tutorial. So we did blobby flowers and then we carved them. Not to be confused with the blobby kitties, which we just did, which I'm beglazing this week. Oh my gosh, I know. We can't even talk about the blobby
all the
kitties.
blobbies.
There's a lot of blobby things that happen in life. In the pottery studio, things get blobby. All right, so you got it on there. You wiping it back now? You doing?
Nah.
We had a time.
I'll finish that one. I'll finish that one off screen.
I got to give stuff away and get ready for the next broadcast. So, all right. So, Drew, I'm going to do the giveaway then.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this demo and for being a sponsor this week.
Of course. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out directly to me.
So it's Andrew at clayscapespottery.com. So you can reach out to Drew and you can find him at Clayscapes Drew, right? If you message, but email's best.
Yeah. If you try me on social media, I probably won't answer.
Email him. If you want colors they don't have, reach out, right?
Absolutely. Because and all the colors are on there, so they'll all be available. So
perfect. I love it. Yes, great. Yeah, and you can always ask me what I like for colors. I got a few. Thank you so much, Drew. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. All right.
We're gonna give away, but I get you here. I'm gonna show you some other stuff. You can't get away that easy. I wanted to show just really fun, quickly how soft you can be with your underglaze colors. This is Speedball's amethyst, actually, really softly. Here is their aqua, just a watered down wash. These weren't wiped back. And this is from my angel ornament class we did about 2019. I think we did this one, but you can go watch that. Here is the red, just the straight red, not the carmine. Here's a really great comparison. Here's the same one, same underglaze after you put mother of pearl luster. Oh yeah, look at that. No luster, so you don't have to, or oh yes, luster, your choice. I wanted to share that. And then I got quick 2 more mugs. So royal blue under a bright green celadon. So this happens to be my lily of the valley celadon. So that's the royal blue. Same royal blue, but under Himalayan blue poppy, which is one of the glazes Drew is going to use. But look at how that really pulls out the texture and makes it pop. So lots of ideas. Okay, I could go all day, but we got to move on. I got to teach another class, so we're going to do that next. All right, so we're going to be giving away a 6-pack of your choice. It's you pick 6. So whoever wins get to go to Clayscapes Pottery and pick 6 glazes. So this is a huge thank you. 6 pints of underglaze. You get to pick. And I could tell you my favorite 6, but it's really, you pick 6 colors you like a lot. They're all great. So whatever you think you're going to use. But I don't know if I could compile a list of my favorites because I think it would just be like 20 of them and that's too many. But definitely the aqua, definitely the turquoise. I really love their chartreuse, their carmine, the emerald, that caramel. Okay, so I just gave you some. And the melon or the peach, one of those two. I go back and forth. So anyhow, the winner of this is going to get to pick their 6 pints that they get to pick. The winner tonight is Antoinette Plunkett. Congratulations, Antoinette. You get this fabulous prize. A huge thank you to Clayscapes Pottery for supplying that prize. And for their 30% off. 30% off is a huge discount, by the way. They're already really affordable, and you get 30% off. That code is the letter SB30. So tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the letters S and B and the number 30. Save 30% off on Speedball Underglazes at clayscapespottery.com. Woo! Awesome. I love it. I do love Speedball Underglazes. I'm very happy they reformulated the underglaze. I used them before. They had that little bump, and I was a little concerned for a while, but they fixed it, and they're back better than ever. Thank goodness. So they mix with other companies' colors. I've used them with Colors for Earth without any problems at all. You can go back and watch my watercolor pottery demo from ClayShareCon, which is coming up in February, by the way. You can watch that demo and see me use both of those interchangeably. They also work with Mako Underglaze. They work with Mako Stroking Coats. They work with Amico. So they're really great. The other fabulous thing is Speedball Underglazes are made right in Statesville, North Carolina. I have had the pleasure of touring the factory, and it is just great. The people there are wonderful, and I'm hoping to get down there and film a tour of the factory for you all this coming year. So you have to wait and see. All right, so the replay of this will be up very soon. If you're looking for more awesomeness with Speedball Underglazes, go check out all of my surface decoration classes, or just search Speedball on ClayShare, and you're gonna see you're gonna be scrolling for a while, and there's lots of videos to watch. Next, we're gonna be doing a really fun thing. It's our annual ornament that we make, and this year the ornament I made, I decided to do something very dangerous, and that is use glass in my pottery. Yes, I did. And we're going to talk about using glass now. I did put it in a couple trinket dishes. And we're going to talk about why you should or should not use glass, how to fire it, what kind of glass you need to use, and all of the safety issues that come along with using glass, because glass is not safe in pottery. It is dangerous. But you know what? So is bungee jumping, and people like to do that. So if you want to learn about using glass in pottery, why you should or should not do it, come join me tonight at 6:15 p.m. on clayshare.com, or download the ClayShare app and watch. Thanks for being here with me, everyone. We'll be back next Wednesday with Drew, again, from Clayscapes Pottery for a glazing tutorial. And my premium members, I'm going to see you in just a few minutes.